In a resounding show of appreciation, the Apapa community and its stakeholders commend Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for delivering on his promise to put an end to the era of trucks causing crippling gridlock on the Apapa Bridge. Highlighting the significant accomplishment of the Lagos State Special Traffic Management Committee and the enforcement team on Apapa Road, Adekoya Hassan, the head of operations reaffirms, says that there will be no more Apapa Gridlock, with a solemn commitment to be held accountable should this issue resurface. Stakeholders, while expressing gratitude to the government, also emphasized the remarkable progress made and the newfound ease of doing business brought about by these road improvements.
Zero container, nothing here again. This whole loop is zero. Okay, that's why I'm here myself to tell you. In 1 day, 2 days, everything is destroyed. Okay, 1 day, 2 days, by Monday, nothing else. Tell all these trucks, they're losing it.
Since we have the new Minister for Marine, there has been a lot of changes around here. And we have been able to have this success today on this road, thanks to the support, the political will from Mr. Governor, and from the MD MPA. He has also, from his end, supported. The E-Call-Up has brought this change we are having here today. However, lately we had the policy review over some policies that have been involved that make them, the stakeholders, the truckers, circumvent the system by going into the port with what we call a proxy call-up, having access. But with the support of the MD port, we have been able to amend and adjust all of this policy. But what we have today is a total sanity, which we promise to defend with our life. This is what we know how to do best, preferring solution to problems. Never again shall we have this kind of gridlock we used to have in Apapa, just like Mr. Governor promised that he will put an end to Apapa gridlock, especially trucks parking on our bridges. Today, we have it no more.
Well, it's obvious. Years before now, assessing Apapa is a much stress in it. Coming to Apapa is a daydream. You have to think over it. But now assessing Apapa is free since the coming of a task force. They've done well. The business has really, the truck infusion into the terminal, it has improved. Unlike years before now, there are days that you cannot even access one truck into the terminal. But now, at least, if you have any good number of trucks, they can access the terminal. So that is a kudos to the task force. They've done well. I think the task force, they were able to identify the challenges on the road. Because before now, there are forces on the road. Some individuals are interested in extracting money from drivers. By so doing, when drivers resist and park their truck, it will lead to traffic. You know what it is in Lagos? When you park for just a second, it has a lot of negative impacts. But now it's free.
Before, we used to spend maybe around 2 weeks, a weekend. But now it's better, like before. Like I enter Lillipon on Friday, then I come out from Lillipon on Saturday. So get here today. So before day goes off, I will enter inside port and come out. It's better now. The changes is that the way traffic task force used to attack us, it come down. Like before. Before you match brake to check your front, they will come and hijack your vehicle. But it's not like that now. They will ask us what happened. When we explain, they will clear us very well, and we will go.
It is a little bit fair now, but most of the time we do have problems of traffic too. From Marine Beach down to this Airways Junction is always free, but from Airways Junction to Wharf is always blocked. So that's why I see some of us applying one way. The truth about the matter is that if there is any possibility of road expansion.
Wow. Sight for sore eyes, Rufai.
Yeah. I mean, so kudos to the Lagos State Governor. Papa has been resolved to a reasonable extent. But why are we here in the first place? We are here because of bad leadership, bad thinking. You see, I'm sorry. I just have to say, the quality of thinking and leadership is so poor in Nigeria. It's like an all-time low. That's why we are here. I mean, people lived in Apapa. at some point in their lives. Apapa used to be a GRA just like Ikoyi. People moved around. But what happened? Increasingly, we clogged the place because of deficient leadership. Now we are looking for all sorts of schemes to which to allow trucks go to the ports. We had from A2 and all of that. All of that were shrouded in inefficiency. Then the governor made promises. Then the president set up a task force. And we all know how that task force did for a while, and everything collapsed. They were back to square one. Then this measure now. I just hope this is sustained. Because it's not today they've been clearing Apapa. But the problem is when you clear Apapa, everything comes back again once there's no sense of leadership and all of that. I remember interviewing Mr. Kayode Okpefa so many times. In fact, at the point he was giving us monthly, or what is it called, what should I call it, quarterly updates as regards what the task force was doing. But it was back to square zero again. So we are happy for this measure. We're happy what the governor has done. We just hope they're able to sustain it so that livelihoods can return, so that people that have real estate can actually get their value, true value for their property in Apapa, and so that the ecosystem can be way better off.
All right.
And please, the city planners should watch it. That's just it.
Okay, this is not the first time that Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State will visit Apapa and try to solve the problem. Under the previous administration, even the vice president visited on different occasions, and the order was given, So we can only commend this only when it is sustained. Let us wait till 1 month from now, because the key problems with that Apapa axis have not been addressed. At best, what Babajide Sanwo-Olu has done is just showboating, just showing off. He goes there, I want these trucks to disappear by Monday. What's today? Today is Tuesday. Okay, so truly, by yesterday, the road seems to have been cleared in line with the governor's order, but it's not about that kind of knee-jerk, episodic kind of declaration. Okay, because we've seen it before, and it did not work. At a point, we were told, oh, that road had been given out to somebody to put cement and asphalt and fix the road. Go and check the records. Years later, that has not happened. So enough of showboating. That Apapa axis, is a nightmare to the people who have businesses there, to the people who have, who live there. Because it's also a residential area. So what they have to do is to look for a means of evacuating goods from the ports in a less stressful manner. All those trailers, articulated vehicles that you see that clog the roads, is because there's no, functional alternative by which they can evacuate goods from the ports. So they stay there, they block the roads, they make life impossible for everybody. At a time, the A2 scheme that was introduced was meant to provide the parking arrangements, movement in and out of the ports for these same trucks. But it failed. It collapsed. So I do not think that, it's time for jubilation yet. The Apapa Gridlock, I do not think that government has addressed it. And I do not think that the Lagos government, can be commended. Let us watch and see. When we see the sustainability of this showboating, maybe in a month's time, 2 months' time, then maybe we can review our position. But it's not enough for the governor to just go there, give an order. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. When there are no structures in place. So I'm not impressed. That's my honest opinion.
All right. So yesterday, Reuters had brought up the issue around roads in Lagos State and deplorable conditions of roads in Lagos State, and had highlighted that this is quite a shame, especially because the governor's themes agenda, now themes, I think, plus. The T stands for transportation and traffic management, and of course, we know that bad roads would cause hell on the roads in terms of traffic. And Apapa area. That area has been a nightmare. And I'm glad that in that particular report, it talks about how it contributes to the ease of doing business. That is the resolution of the gridlock in Apapa. And I think it's time for us, as a commercial nerve center of the nation, to begin to count the cost of lack of infrastructure, especially its impact on businesses. You'd go to places or areas where business should be booming, and of course that would translate to more revenue for the government in terms of taxes and, you know, livelihood for the people. But unfortunately, the lack of infrastructure makes it almost impossible to do business in those areas. And so that's why it's important to look at these things. And so kudos to the governor of Lagos State for responding to the cries that have come out over the months over Apapa Gridlock. It looks like a miracle that one day he went there, pointed a few, areas, and before we knew it, the place was clear. So I want to say that the reward for good work is more work. And so whilst we applaud Governor Babajide, well, I applaud Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for dealing with this issue, I would like him to take the same magic wand to other parts of Lagos State where the roads are in horrible condition. When I put out a tweet a few weeks back about the state of roads, the places that were mentioned, Awoyaya, they talked about NNPC Ejigbo, talked about Novare, Shongotedo. Lagos is now a competition of the deepest gully, the deepest roadblock. And we have what I term artificial traffic because the roads, nothing there, just that the bottleneck is caused by horrible state of roads. So again, thank you for Apapa Gridlock, but please, let us do more in other parts of the state so that Lagos can be the city of aquatic splendor, the commercial nerve center of the nation, and the center of excellence.